why are you doing this? You know,
Right.
basically.
Right.
And
What was it? So we're at 2000.
probably 2001, something like that. Yes.
2001. So president was. We're in the middle of
Kim Dae-jung.
Kim Dae-jung
Right.
had just started.
Right.
So it's the first after Kim Young-sam,
Right.
and everybody's still a little worried about the government, I would assume.
Well, you know, that's another thing. Is I'm not sure if you know, but we had a very, very stiff censorship in Korea until 1996. And
Right.
actually it changed to a rating system. And when the Kim Dae-jung government came to power, a lot of things got lax as far as censorship or
They opened up.
Opened up, right?
Yeah.
And you know, we could make a lot of different genre and stories, and I mean, especially stories that deals with North Korea was almost forbidden in the past, but now we can talk about it, and that's one of the reasons why I made this movie.
Yeah.
And you know, so change of government really helped also.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. There was no making this movie 5 years earlier, right? 10 years earlier, you could not make the movie 실미도, right?
I probably had to visit police office or something a few times.
Right.
And
right.
probably was advised not to make the movie.
Don't make the movie.
Like
Don't make that movie. Yeah, and you were finally able to make this, though, in 2003, which was kind of historic in itself, right? Because, like you said, this story had never been told publicly.
I think the greatest thing about making this movie was actually the list of people who were there was a government top secret.
Right.
And after this movie was such a big success, government actually announced the list of people who were there.
Yeah.
And also,
when you say there, you mean on the island?
On the island, people who passed away through this, you know, incident, and because you know they were considered missing, and their relatives didn't know where they were. And now, after this movie, they knew exactly where they were, how they died.
Yeah.
And also, at the same year, I think the government passed a law to compensate people who went over to North Korea or were trained to go to North Korea as a spy or commandos. And, you know, we were told there were none in the past.
Right.
I mean, there were a lot of other incidents, but especially because of this movie, then everybody learned that our past, we actually have sent more people to North than they sent to us, down to us.
Right, right. And everybody was assuming that the North Koreans were sending people to assassinate the Korean presidents, but nobody knew that they were doing the same thing down south. Huh? Wow. So, have you heard from the families and people like that since?
Yes, through a lawyer.
Really? Through a lawyer?
Yes. Well, there were 3 accounts of lawsuits after this movie has opened.
You're kidding?
No, I kid you not. I think since they learned about, you know, their relatives are being in 실미도, they sued us for defamation of dead.
Defamation of the dead?
Yes.
Is that a normal lawsuit in Korea, or how do they?
Sometimes
defamation of the dead.
In Korean, it's called 사자 명예훼손.
사자 명예훼손.
Right.
Okay.
Meaning, I have actually made this dead people's name.
You slandered a dead person.
Right.
Okay. Slander, 명예훼손, right?
Apparently, their claim was that these people, some of them actually were criminals, as movie said, but some of them weren't in real life. They were basically scouted out of the streets.
Okay.
So those people are claiming that, you know, they weren't criminals. Why you say they were criminals?
Okay, because in the movie, everybody was a criminal.
Well, we didn't say everybody was, but in the beginning of the movie, it suggests that some of them are criminals. But, but you know, we didn't get charged, so
okay.
I guess
some of them were just normal soldiers, is what you're saying, or normal soldiers.
Just people out of the streets.
People. So they just walked up to somebody and said, "Hey, would you like to kill Kim Il Sung?"
No, they said, "Do you want to work for the country? You know, we'll pay you a lot of money."
Right.
You know, things like that. Usually people with, you know, good physique.
Sure.
and
Sure.
things like that.
Yeah.
Right? And guess what? That lawsuit went until last year.
You're kidding.
When,
So you were fighting that lawsuit for like 8 years?
Yeah, went all the way up to a Supreme Court and got finished last year.
Wow. It's been a long 7 years then fighting that lawsuit, huh? And
Right.
meanwhile, you were making other movies, I assume.
Right,
too, huh?
right.
What other movies have you done since Shunida?
Well, there was a movie called Sicily 2 Kilometers. I think English title is To Catch a Virgin Ghost.
To Catch a Virgin Ghost.
Right. It's with Im Chang-jung.
What's the Korean title?
Sicily 2 Kilometers.
Sicily 2
2kilo, yes.
2 kilometer?
Right.
Really? Okay.
And it was sort of a comic horror.
Uh-huh.
We call it funky horror,
Right.
something like that,
Okay.
right? And it was a small movie, but I really liked the script. As you know, as soon as I read it, I actually paid the writer, got the contract, and that's the first time I've done that. Actually, I usually ask other people to read the script. What do you think? You know.
Right.
But I didn't do that on this one. As soon as I read it, I said, "Well, this is a good one. Let's do
Okay.
it."
So what do you normally look for if you're looking for a good script? What do you think are the features of a good script?
Well, you know, it's very difficult to tell.
Yeah.
I think you have to actually know it after reading it. Says, well, this is going to do well. I mean, if there's a formula, I think everybody can write that.
Yeah.
But it's some certain feeling that the script gives you, saying it actually tells you it's going to do well, and you got to be able to catch it to become a good producer.
Okay. So it's not, there is no formula, you're saying? There is no specific thing that you look for every time?
Not really. Not really.
Really?
Yeah. I am very open-minded when it comes to script.
You just
Read it and it actually calls my name.
read it and either it appeals to you or it doesn't, huh?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, through my experience, you know, there were scripts that I liked and other people didn't like, and vice versa. And I've always prevailed. And of all the scripts that I liked did well. I mean, you know, I'm responsible for the production anyways.
Right.
So I cannot ask other people how the script is, and if they say it's good, then I do it. Usually it doesn't work. I have to like the script,
Okay.
and I have to have a passion.
And then the movie turns out well,
That's probably why.
according to your your passion for the film.
Probably I
right?
have a passion for the script. That's why the movie turns out.
Yeah.
Because I probably pay more attention and more show more